Personification. What is personification? Personification is a figure of speech where a non-living object is turned into a person. Think about it this way. It's a specific type of metaphor. It's a metaphor where one object, a non-living one, is turned into a person. For example, if you say the flame danced in the dark, danced is a verb that describes something people do, that persons do. So here, the flame is being turned into a dancer. So the flame's a non-living object. Danced is a living verb. It's a verb that applies to living people, to persons. And now that verb is used to describe the non-living object. So the non-living object is turned into a person, into a dancer. Another example. The sun chased away the clouds. The sun is a non-living object, but chased away is a verb that people do, that persons do. So the sun here is being turned into a person chasing other people. How do we identify personification? Well, if the verb following a non-human object, like a flame or like the sun, describes a human action, like dancing, like chasing away, then that non-human object is being personified. We could also identify personification using this list of questions. First, we would have to ask, is there a comparison being made between two objects? If the answer is yes, then we would move on to a second question. Is one object being turned into another object? Now, if that one object is described with words that describe another object, that's how you can tell. That's a metaphor. If you need to review the video on that, click on the link below, because personification is a type of metaphor. Then number 3, ask yourself, is the object being turned into a person? So is there a comparison? Is that comparison really one object being turned into another object? And finally, is the object being turned into a person? If the answer is yes, then it's personification. So let's take a look here. Time waits for no one. We ask ourselves, is there a comparison going on here? And the answer is yes. It is comparing time with someone waiting. Then we go to the second question. Is time being turned into something else? And the answer is yes. It's being turned into a person that's waiting. The verb waits describes a person's behavior. So time here is being turned into an impatient person. It's being personified. Example number 4. The gray-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night. So here, this line from Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare has 2 examples of personification. The verb smiles, that is being applied to gray-eyed morn, meaning the morning, the early morning, that's a human action. It's an action that a person does. So the gray-eyed morn is being personified. But also frowning, so the night here is frowning. Frowning is also a human action. It's an action that a person does. So night is also being personified. So William Shakespeare here is personifying both the morning and the night. He's personifying the morning with a smiling person and personifying the night with a frowning person. It's very poetic. Trivia. The word personification is a Latin word, which means to make into a person. Why? Because personification is a type of metaphor that turns a non-living object into a person. It makes a non-living object into a person. Like this last example. We have to stand for a few minutes in the doorway of the train while the cameras gobble up our images. This is from the Hunger Games. And the example of personification is the cameras gobbling up our images. Gobble up is an action that a person does. So the cameras are being personified. For more videos, click here. Thanks for watching. Until next time.